Well, hi there. It's Leigh Farnell from Hadoken with David Horlock and Stacey Varsani. Hi, guys. How are you?
Good. Hi, Lee.
Hello,
Hi, David.
hello, Lee. Hello, Stacey.
Well, we're talking about asking the experts, and you guys are the experts in managing organizations right across Asia. And this particular topic is a fantastic topic where we're talking about simplifying business processes for success. Because as you know, in today's fast-paced business world, complexity can often slow down progress. Today, we're going to be discussing how organizations can keep it simple and focus on the basics of clear communication, strong customer relationships, and straightforward business practices. So, David, in your experience, what are some of those dangers of complexity, and how can businesses streamline operations and become more resilient at the same time?
Lee, simplicity is one of the most wonderful things when you see it, because we all know what good looks like, and we all know how hard it is to actually make things simple. And as they say, simplicity is the art of sophistication. Now, I spent a good 40 years of my life in supply chain working with some of the biggest brands and retailers in very fast-paced supply chain environments. And I'd like to give you a quote that I had from one of the world's largest retailers and supply chain ecosystems. And the quote was, "Complexity equals confusion, which is the enemy of trust and value."
Mm-hmm.
And that really stuck in my mind because it resonated. And it's so true in our daily lives when we see something that we don't understand. One, we don't trust it, and two, we give up on it. So getting simplicity right, whether it's in your business processes, your quality manual, your communication, whether it's in, digitizing your business process, it's all about, doing the time motion study, reducing the steps in the process, reducing the words, reducing the complexity. And it's a culture. You have to think about it, and you have to force people to go back, reduce it by another 30%, simplify the thing. And Lee, when you do it, it's a wonderful breakthrough because it saves time, it saves money, it saves energy. But more importantly, people then understand it. And if they understand it, they believe in it. And if they believe in it, you can implement it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So, Stacey, from your point of view, how does this relate in the world of finance?
Well, finance really thrives on transparency and simplicity. A lot of people probably think of finance as quite complex, especially in terms of analyzing things, everything that's going into a cash flow forecast or your P&L. But really, it's the responsibility of finance to ensure that KPIs and financial reports, management reports are usable for decision making. They need to be explainable, they need to be functional to allow people to make effective decisions. In addition, if you have complex models, it can actually hinder agility as well. I've seen cases where the models are just so complex that every month, it takes people hours to go through these models to get to certain information that's valuable to the organization. And really that is just hindering the ability of the organization to make quick decisions. And what David said is absolutely right. A lot of people give up on these things. You see something that's too complicated, oh, forget it. I can never understand it, which is we don't want perfection to be the enemy of good.
Mm-hmm. And of course, in the world of sales, talking about perfection being the enemy of good, what we know is the confused mind always says no. And at the same time, the confused salesperson doesn't perform anywhere near their effective potential. The confused salesperson, particularly if they're confused by systems, confused by a pile of reports, confused by all of these processes that get in the way of them actually getting face-to-face with a prospect. In fact, what we found, the research shows up to 70% of a salesperson's time is spent doing non-sales activities. And often that's because of a whole range of complicated systems that someone in head office or somewhere else likes the idea of, but it actually gets in the way. So streamlining and reducing complexity in the area of sales is super, super critical. So David, in summing up, what would be some of the advice you'd give to a fellow CEO or board member or manager in regard to this?
Well, I think simplicity is so important that it deserves to be right up there in your values and behavior proposition, because people have to be constantly reminded. If we are re-engineering our IT and our workflows, let's reduce 30% of the workflows. If we are going to put a quality manual together, and procedures. Let's reduce it by 30-40%. Challenge everybody, just like Steve Jobs did in terms of simplification. We have to simplify our business processes. Time is money. Back office support is money. Simplify financing, simplify accounting, simplify workflows, simplify sales reporting. And if you do that, your organization is going to be more agile. It's going to be more nimble. You'll get better implementation and you'll get much better culture and behavior because people are energized and not lost and confused.
Beautiful, mate. Beautiful. Look, as we say, by simplifying processes and cutting through the noise, businesses can be more agile, they can be more responsive, and certainly more effective with a focus on managing the process and therefore making value for the company and value for the customer. So if you're a C-suite leader who wants to engage, learn, and grow with leaders who've been where you are heading, learn from people who've covered multiple regions, cultures, real-world experience, and have high-impact results, you can get that in one powerful session. You can tap into the three of us, 108 years of expertise in a 90-minute executive advisory power panel. It's your session where we help you brainstorm bold ideas. You'll gain second opinion from all three of us. We'll help you innovate and fast-track problem solving with proven techniques that we've used right across Asia. You'll get actionable insights that really will have an impact on your bottom line. Now, we only do 2 or 3 of these sessions a month, so apply now. The details are on the landing page. We guarantee you're going to get high impact results in a very results-driven call. David, Stacey, thanks very much.
Thanks, Leigh.
Thank you, Leigh. Thanks, Stacey.